Anyway, so on this leadership program here, something that came to my mind about the different types of leaders and conversations amongst like 50 odd sort of civil servants. It's been interesting, interesting for a number of reasons. And something it reminded me about something that I spoke to somebody else a few weeks ago. We covered how when people think about leadership and leaders, they always think it's the exec team or it's the senior management team. And what we don't speak about often enough is how individually we're all leaders. And I know we say this all the time, we read it all the time, and there's God knows how many thousands and thousands of books on leaders and leadership. But we just don't speak enough about how we, in our roles, whether it's professionally or personal capacity, we are all leaders, and all we need to do is just like talk to each other, let each other know what we're up to, what we're doing, because that way you find synergies, you come together and you have a bigger impact, right? I mean, what is the point? Why do we do the things that we do? Ultimately, is to have an impact, right? And that's my argument today. We do things so that we can have a positive impact on people's lives, on having the ability to change and impact change. We just don't speak enough about how we are all performing leadership roles. We are all leaders in our own rights, and I think that's something that we want to talk about a bit more, and not get stuck into this sort of cycle of you have to be a certain level, a certain grade, or earn a certain amount of money before you can classify yourself as leaders. And I think for those of us who are in a senior leadership role, that's something that we need to talk to people who work with us and for us more often, encourage that, because ultimately when we don't, we're actually disempowering them. And that's another word that got gripe me today, that is that we don't talk about the need to empower people, and how when we look at empowerment generally, it's always in the sort of philanthropy sense, it's always in a sense of a charitable sense, or in a way where you're helping somebody who's from a disadvantaged circumstance or background. But what happened to the concept of empowering everybody across the board? So you just get more productivity out of them. You know, it's simple. I'm not great at maths, but what I do know is you empower somebody, you create motivation and the willingness to want to do more. And the moment you connect with them on an emotional intelligence level, then naturally people go the extra mile for you, because you're driving and working towards a common goal. So let's talk about more empowerment, let's talk about leadership on an individual level, and how once we then sync those synergies up, that is the only way you're going to have an impact on change and have an impact on society and those around you. Something to think about.